that somehow, some way, we managed to make them feel literally like part of the family.
Hey there!
Hey there!
We are Bears in Excess.
I'm Eric.
I'm Christian. This is another episode of the Bears in Excess show.
Yes.
In this episode, we're gonna travel to another country virtually. We are here in Toronto, Canada, and we're gonna to Estonia.
Where is Estonia?
Yeah.
It's a country by the Baltic Sea in Northern Europe. The capital and most populous city is Tallinn.
Yes.
The first confirmed record of existence of Tallinn was 1219.
We're gonna talk to the organizers of a very cool weekend. It's a bear cultural weekend. It's called Tallinn Bearty. It's gonna happen now in April, but it's be the ninth year. So we're gonna talk to them about their weekend, about bears, Estonia, pride,
About themselves, of course.
themselves, and much more. Hello, guys. Up there are two guys there. It looks like one, but there are two.
Yeah.
See?
Alvar, tell us a bit about the two of you.
Although my hubby is shy next to me right now here. Me and Dima, we are together since April 2014 when we met first. And now we are closing in, starting our 10th year together then, right? Yeah, just like those curious instances happen. Nobody plans to meet the hobbies, the partners, the man of their life, or however else you call them. It happens suddenly, and in our case, it was me going to St. Petersburg, playing at local bear clubs, regular party there, and that's how it happened. He saw me. First, as he put it, he saw this unbelievably handsome man on the poster. I'm always getting giggly about that one. What, me? Handsome? But anyway, that's how he saw me. But good. Yeah, so back to the story. When I met him in the club at that first evening, that was almost like some uncontrollable urge came over me, because I was sitting already in the club talking to other guys, preparing for the evening, and he came in and stood for a moment at the doorway, and the lights were backlit him, and it was just like a magical, wondrous vision, and my whole body was just like raised out of the bar stool, and I ran towards him, and we hugged and cuddled along, like, and I'm always saying, I'm still feeling it's still true that I felt as if I found my long lost brother or something.
But there's a polite version. It's not the real words for that. Oh my God, I got so horny. You got so.
No, horny I wouldn't say, but maybe, I don't even remember. But the way I remember it was still, indeed, it was fairly or extremely romantic for me to recall those moments, because I literally felt that, oh my God, this urge, this magnetism towards him, as if I've been waiting for this meeting for years and years, or all my life, this kind of stuff. So it was more of a romantic thing. The horny stuff came later.
Is he also from Tallinn, or he's from Russia?
Dima is from St. Petersburg, yes. But he's living in Tallinn, Estonia now.
So important him.
Yeah, we are here together. We We got married just before COVID. Happy instance, but yeah, it happened to us. Although in Estonia it's still impossible, we managed to snatch, let's put it this way, a German marriage for ourselves in Berlin. So we are married. Plus, funny enough, because the Estonian government, not then, not right now even, I mean, officially the state doesn't recognize same-sex marriages from other countries. Well, they do, but in very limited occasions. I wouldn't go into details. But officially, as we have the marriage, ours wasn't accepted. So what they did when we applied for living permit for Dima, they suggested that because we cannot grant the living permit based on the marriage, because in Estonian marriage regulation, the marriage is between the man and the woman, we recommend you sign a cohabitation partnership, which is the same-sex partnership in Estonia. And so based on state officials' recommendation, we, again, internationally, in international laws, face this is quite absurd that a country, a state would require or even recommend or suggest taking up or making another legally binding partnership on top of already existing one. I mean, this is like international sort of, legal standard that if two people have some sort of legal formation, then usually this has to be accepted and not required to up it in a way with some sort of local thing. But nevertheless, anyway, we didn't start arguing with the Estonian state. We followed the recommendation, and happy enough, they accepted that as a base for living permit for Dima as well. So luckily,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean it is crazy. Slightly heightened right now in particularly this started week. Like this week, right now, we had the parliamentary elections 3 weeks ago, and the new coalition. They are still continuing the coalition talks. You know how it goes. Like 2 or 3 coalition parties, they keep talking to agree upon governing principles and baseline. So this week, particularly, they will start talking about not anymore even the sort of partnership law. There's a gap, like the mentioned cohabitation partnership law is valid and active law, but in practical everyday terms, it's sort of invalid sort of configuration, because some 50 or 60 laws and regulations have not been amended. So technically, yes, me and Dima here are partners, but if we would go and start, demanding legally some equal rights to every other partnered couple, then this wouldn't be valid. So yeah, this week, back to the coalition talks. This week, the coalition starts talking about actually going a leap forward and putting down the principles, hopefully, fingers crossed, the marriage equality, which means that if they will do that, then we have a very, very high chance in Estonia that Estonia will become first ex-occupied Soviet republic that will actually approve marriage equality.
Oh,
So-
that's so nice.
That's great.
Yay! Let's hope.
Yay.
Let's hope.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, so for people who have never heard of or know much about Estonia, why would someone from outside Estonia go there?
Just because you've never been here.
Because
Yeah.
you're cute. That's why.
I mean, short answer, yes. Just because you've never been here. Me personally, I would love to go every place I've never been to, only because of that reason. Just to discover or see how people are every day, how they're living their everyday lives elsewhere. What's the culture? What's the society? This and that. But in Estonia's case, it's like a paradoxical duality to Estonia's popularity. In most cases, I think especially in Northern America, Canada probably not so much, but US, I guess, pretty much so. People, general public tends to think that, Estonia, it's this, the name of the country sounds so funny, it's probably a made up thing, unless they actually know that the country is real. But in that case, they already know that Estonia, or they ought to know probably, they've had some experience with that Estonia is very influential.
Oh, somebody show up.
Somebody joined. That's a figurative teddy bear signing my partner.
Busted.
So yeah, in most cases, people don't know what Estonia is, or don't even suspect that this is a real country. While in other cases, the ones who know about Estonia know that Estonia is very influential. And funny enough, if asked about, what do you think is the population of Estonia, then I think was it like 3 or 4 years ago we found a very curious survey that about half of the questioned Americans, they thought that Estonia is about 10 or 15 million inhabitants, which is about as a minimum 10 or 15 times more than we are. Estonia really is just 1.4 million inhabitants. Out of those, 400,000 live in Tallinn, the capital. So we are very, very small country as far as population goes. But the answers that Estonia has about 10, 15 or 20 million population, that shows the influence of our deeds, starting from, in digital world, modern societies, everybody either still uses or at least remembers what Skype is. You do, right?
Yes.
So now the next question is, did you know that Skype is actually invented by Estonians?
By the way, I know that Skype also is an Estonian thing.
Skype is Estonian, yes.
Actually, you got some images of Estonia to show. Oh, we did that.
Yes.
To show.
We did some research.
What's his name? The teddy bear.
That is just a teddy bear. It's funny. We don't name our teddy bears. We have them so many that we never even started naming them.
He's falling apart. He fainted. Oh,
he was shocked.
Yeah, he fainted for the notion that he doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
Maybe I got some images of Estonia to show people. So to show where in the world is that. So that's Estonia.
Yay!
And that's the flag.
Yes.
And that's Tallinn.
Blue, black and white, and that's Tallinn, yes, the capital.
The medieval town was from the 1216, 13. Was
that's
the first time.
1219.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful city. I should be watching a lot of videos about Tallinn lately. There's a very cool YouTube channel. They talk about food and every stuff. So I've been seeing a lot of things the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I've been watching. It's really cool. It's a very interesting city. Aha! He came. He's taking over.
Sit over it.
Oh, so adorable.
Yeah.
So,
So- Yeah, I mean, Estonia is, those who know Tallinn or Estonia usually limit themselves with capital. But Estonia as a country is just beautiful. I mean, we might be very flat. Our highest point is barely 300 meters above the sea level. But the countryside itself is very serene. We have loads of land masses with forests. Forests almost always, have absolute connection to internet. There's like very few spots in the forest in Estonia where you cannot catch internet. Trust me. And
and also, Tallinn is the most preserved medieval town in Europe. There's no.
Tallinn,
Is it
yes,
UNESCO?
Tallinn, I'm not sure about the claim that it's most preserved, but it certainly is one of the most well preserved. Yes, because Tallinn Old Town is part of UNESCO's World Heritage listing. So for people traveling in, usually the effect is. I mean, it's very easy to grasp because Tallinn Old Town is. I personally call it a medieval Disneyland. It's so small, it's so compact that literally when you stay in the hotel or in a tourist apartment, Airbnb or whatever, either within the old town or nearby, you can take literally just one day to walk through that thing easily. It's very compact, and very well preserved indeed. Yeah,
It's very nice.
Yeah.
And how about the gay life and bear life? How is this? How are those there?
how are gays in Estonia?
He said everything.
He's looking for good nice words, but now we are fine. I mean, see, we are living together. We have. I mean, we don't live literally in Tallinn. We live in outskirts, in multi-apartment small building. We're fine. We've been living here almost 9 years now. Yeah, 9 years. Yeah. Obviously, neighbors understand and know who we are, what we are. No problem at all. We are in very well terms with everybody. The same I could say about. Again, I'm not trying to overly draw here a positive picture because we do have loads of problems. But in general terms, I would say that living as a gay LGBT family member in Estonia is fairly all right. Because the instances of how do you say discrimination, the severest form of it, attacks on the street, we've had those indeed, but they're very, very rare. Most of the discrimination goes on in form of, I must say, far-right induced online or social bullying, which includes one of our far-right parties. But we're fighting with that. But in everyday life, like if we're talking of social stance or position of people of Estonia towards LGBT people, it's steadily and gradually growing more positive than every or any year before. So the positive attitudes are prevalent.
It's good news.
Yeah, very good.
Can I say?
Can he say something?
Yeah. And about bears, about bear community, and I so proud that we can introduce bear community in Estonia, in small town, in small Tallinn. And Tallinn Bearty bring a lot of bears around the world to the city, and we if I can say that maybe we are one of the famous bear couple in Estonia.
Well,
King and King.
sort of out of necessity, not that we have chosen necessarily to be famous, but because we are pretty much the only ones publicly visible. Many people know us, of course, and it's kind of funny indeed that when we started Tallinn Bearty, then our aim wasn't at all to become activists in a field of LGBT equal rights, or in general terms, equal rights as such, as I put it in recent years. But because we're doing this festival of bear culture, and we chose the culture as means of demolishing the stereotypes between, long-standing stereotypes in straight society towards any form of or representation of LGBT, then this has proved kind of very effective. That we are demolishing effectively those stereotypes with example of ourselves, but also representing every year in April different sides and different either professional or semi-professional artists who are out and bears. So it's always like I think it's the same. Even I usually tend to compare it this way. The situation in different countries, Western countries especially, with LGBT rights is fairly well, but even in best countries, Canada, probably the same way. We are far from saying, and we shouldn't even think that we're done. Nobody, nowhere is done.
And what came first? The bear event came first, or the NGO came first?
Well, technically, you're asking what was first, the egg or the chicken?
Yeah.
No, well, funny. In our case, it was easy. First, there was the notion or wish to sort of socially organize the non-existing bear community in Estonia. But Tallinn Bearty, as such, and this is also something that we always need to emphasize, Tallinn Bearty is not Estonian bear community run event. It is simply a mission-based festival that we together run, NGO. So Estonian bear community, Tallinn Bearty, they are two different entities. They do have common, touching points, but they are separate. So Estonian bear community as a social group, we started, we, the Estonian Bears, 20 years ago. I think it was November 2002, or was it 2003? No, wait, 2001 actually. Mm-hmm. Yes. So it's almost 22 years now. Or 21.
When you back from Germany, and you decided you organized guys here.
Yeah, but not instantly. It still took a year or so. So I think it was November 21st when we ourselves, the Estonian Bear social formation of Estonian Bears, our group, when we consider the beginning of Estonian Bear movement, when the bear flag was first ever represented in a gay sauna at the bear event in the sauna. So we sort of consider that as a start of Estonian bear movement. But socially Estonian bears, there's a secret Facebook group, Estonian Bears, accessible only through members. But yeah, we are like 20 years, a small formation, about I think no more than well, technically the Facebook group itself is 150 something, but out of that, about half of the members are actually Estonians. Others are friends, followers from elsewhere. So.
Your organization came after that? How?
Tallinn Bearty, yes. Tallinn Bearty came literally out of, well, also interesting story. I personally had a vision, well, not vision, but the wish, imagination, that wouldn't it be nice to have bears coming to Tallinn, my hometown where I live. Ever since I went to my very first bear runs, first one was December '99 in Cologne, Germany. I've been going back there ever since, so I'm literally, well, I'm not trying to even be shy, but I guess I can be called a veteran of Cologne Bear Run. but that played a huge role in formation, my personal formation, and you know, forming me as a bear personality. That you know, the examples of how this run was organized, how many men, how they behave there, what they do, and so on and so forth. So ever since the very first visits there, I was thinking that, oh, that would be so nice to have it one day. So 2014, when we met in St. Petersburg, back then his friend, well, our friend back then together, Alex Grach, who passed away sadly a couple of years ago now. He was together with Dima. They were forming or starting to run the St. Petersburg Bear Club. And then Alex, he said that after that, my first visit to St. Petersburg, he said, "Hey, wouldn't that be nice if we will organize a joint bear club meeting, Estonia and St. Petersburg?" And that sort of sparked in me the whole idea that, oh yes, absolutely, we should do that. But hey, let's not limit that to Estonian and St. Petersburg Bear Club. Let's invite everybody. Like literally everybody around the world. So we did. That's how it started.
Well, let's start from somewhere.
Oh yeah,
Somehow.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you think then it's so easy, but then there's so many things involved, right? We were part of a bear group here. Does exist anymore? Bears of Toronto. People sometimes, oh, it's so easy. No, it's so complex. To be part of, especially the board, the organization part.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Lots of work, lots of things going on. It's like, what's crazy?
Definitely. I mean, I can hear you, brothers. I know what you mean. It's from looking from outside, it seems so effortless that, you know, oh, it's so much fun, and see how people are enjoying themselves, and, you know, you must enjoy yourself as well. But yeah, of course we do enjoy ourselves, but we can't even start telling everybody, even if we would wish to, how much in detail those things demand in order to run smoothly.
Oh yeah.
The first Bearty was actually 2015, but 2015 wasn't, although it was named Tallinn Bearty, it wasn't by the sort of concept that we came up after the first event. Because the first event was sort of we didn't think that we will repeat that. We were kind of doing it one-off. But because the first event immediately saw, we're using this funny moniker that we have guests from Sydney to Seattle, which is literally true from very first year on. Because the spectrum of guests was so wide, and the sort of demand was there. Guys were asking, like, so what are the dates for next year's event? And we didn't prepare for that. So we took sort of a month to think about it, and then we announced that sort of due to popular demand, we are coming back. And then we figured that ever since 2016, the second year when we started, we need to position ourselves differently. We cannot do just in the very, very harsh competition of gay bear events on a worldwide scale. Every weekend of the year, there's some bear event, bear run someplace. We cannot compete. We have to find some sort of a niche that nobody has actually, grasped. So we came up with a concept that
culture.
We will take culture as a means, and we promote every year either visual arts, either music, or either cinematography. So these are the three main themes that we sort of run around one every year. So this year we're going to do focus on music, which means that we bring artists to perform, to talk, to have fun with guests. They need to have fun as well. They're humans, people as we all are, and yeah, this is the sort of niche that we grasp. That there's, like, again, you mentioned friends, long-standing friends. We also, even before we started to organize the event, and now that we do it the 9th year this year, every year more and more we are sort of collecting this circle of creative bears, the friends that either wish to be here or haven't been yet, or have been here. And they friends, in turn, they already start asking that, hey, you do this thing, can we come also and perform? So when first years we had hard time actually finding, well, not hard time, but we had to put some effort into listing the guests that we bring. Now we have a different effort. Now we have to. It sounds bad, but now we have to select a certain minimum that we can allow ourselves as organizers, because the demand to participate as official artists is actually higher than we can afford. So we have developed in that sense. But yeah, so culture as means, visual arts, music, and cinematography.
People see the bear community as just visual, or just the bodies and sex, and in Insane, we try to go to another side.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's why also we have these shots we created to not show bears just bears as a body or meat thing. So there are things, there are many artists, there are many interesting people we can talk to, can talk about what they do, what they are. I think it's very interesting to portray the bear community in different ways, not just, oh, he's cute. Yeah, but there's more to that.
There's something more than just what he looks like.
Timo wanted to say.
And another idea of our festival is try to connect East and West, because at the first years when we started, a lot of guys from another countries, for example, Ukraine, Lithuania, Latvia, Belarus,
Russia as well.
Russia as well.
Yeah.
And after 2013, when first terrible law about gay propaganda started in Russia. Bears community give us support bears from in Russia and in other countries, especially Russia. They help us to feel better.
Yeah.
That we are not alone in our gay community, and
I think we gave that little hope to them as well. That because within their own country, the sort of state ruled, state governed discrimination started full on. They were looking obviously the ways and places where to actually express themselves, and Tallinn was the closest where they could come. So both, in a way, quite literally, the shortest travel to some place where they can feel themselves actually paradoxical enough again, where they could feel themselves free, because all the places where we run the events. We are not going in, not even with a pool party or farewell brunch or clubs. Nevertheless, we're always going in, organizing, saying the full truth that, hey, this is the event of this profile. There will be this kind of art shown. There will be these people coming, and so on and so forth. And ever since the first years we organized, the biggest surprise was we didn't know how to expect that, but that was a surprise. Places where managements were very, very open-handed about that one. They said that yes, of course, come, of course, that's very curious, very lovely, and more than often, the effect was double, if not triple, positive, because we, the Bears, not us as organizers, but the Bears coming, we brought them so much money. They would never have imagined that in usual circumstances.
Yes, also we spoke to each other, so it's nice through the LGBT community in general to see the Bears, to see that they exist.
Oh yeah.
And then we have not just the stereotype, we have the nice people too.
Yeah.
And the interaction, I think, is important.
Definitely.
See how we exist, but we are here too.
You mentioned Kristen before that it's nice to hear that if usually the Bear Weekend concentrates on closed circuit events that Bears only attend, then in our case we are actually a public festival. Yes, about 2/3 to 80% of the visitors come in is the Bear community, but even more so, it's influential because Tallinn has never seen so many bears, not before Tallinn Bearty and not between Tallinn Bearties. So during those 9 years, Tallinn downtown businesses, they have already used to the imagery or scenery of, oh, April, the Bears are coming, yay! So it's funny to say, but I can probably compare that best probably to the probably the Provincetown effect. Provincetown is pretty much the Bear resort anyway. But the first years when Bear Run in July started there, the town was flooded with bears for a month. So sort of the same thing happens in small scale in Tallinn, that now they've become used to that. Old town cafes, especially a couple of particular ones, they are like the steady favorites of bears. A few clubs, the places that bears usually go, they are already used to that. Aha, wait, there's like too many fat, hairy, bearded guys coming. Wait, the Bear Run started. But I wanted to add one more aspect that you, Christian, mentioned, that we found the culture as means to promote the bear community and LGBT community through the Bear sort of stereotypical approach. We are not particularly aiming to get rid of the bear imagery, even the sort of scandalous full frontal sex ones. Meaning that, for example, the most successful exhibitions, pop-up exhibitions that we have had in our visual art years have been of London-based project Loud Gallery project. Again, I mentioned Provincetown. The very first show was in Provincetown. The second one was in Tallinn, and they've been back to Tallinn already two times. And Tallinn
2016 and 19.
Yes. And both those times, the Loft Gallery project, Charlie and Mike who do that, Tallinn projects have been the biggest exhibitions of theirs. And the idea, I mean, the art there is full frontal nudity. I'm not spoiling anything else, but it's not porn. It's very immersive experience. If you haven't seen that, try to spot them. I think this July they're going back to Provincetown again. And so some other artists, for example, last year when we had third visual arts edition, there was Tiberio, who is a photographer living in Madrid. He does also full frontal nudity artistic shots of bears, couples, singles, so on and so forth. And perhaps you've heard about a very high-grade photographic exhibition gallery, Fotografiska. Fotografiska, originally Stockholm-based business. Tallinn has another of the galleries. New York has a third one. And the end of this year, I believe the fourth one will be opened in Berlin. So a year ago, Fotografiska decided that exposing or showing exhibition of nude bear couples within the lobby area cafeteria, 40 pictures of those of Tiberio, that is totally fine. And trust me, that was totally fine. Because, I mean, people were coming in and out, families, kids, old, young, men, women. Literally did not matter who came there. Not a single person had a problem with nude bears being exposed as a photography show in a cafe.
Wow.
At the world famous Fotografiska.
He made it go eat. Oh my God! Oh my God!
No,
Let's have a coffee there. Oh my God!
It was us.
It.
No, seriously, trust me. It was us who were, nail biting that. Oh my God, there's going to be naked bears in a cafe. How people are going to react? Nobody overreacted. It was our fear. Our fear that people are overreacting. Everybody was so totally calm about it that
incredible.
That was just natural.
How do you choose how you select who's going to participate? I mean, like the DJs, the musicians, the artists. Is there a process you select, or how do you argue so much? Like, oh no, him. No, I want him.
The process itself starts basically, if not before upcoming event for the next year, then a couple of months during the summer month after the last event, definitely. So, for example, if we are going to have in a month a festival of 23 now, then latest in July, we need to fix the agreements and have the talks with possible guest artists for the 2024, which will be the cinematography edition. So there are creators who we aim and want to bring to Tallinn, but depends how how their schedules are, what they're doing, what our possibilities are. So there's like many ingredients to the recipe that we're trying to follow. But one that we definitely follow always is we try to keep the program, thanks to guest artists, as varied, different as possible, and also bring different quality. That if possible, then we always want to have one or two professional artists, like full-time, from different parts of the world. But what those artists do, this is also like the basic principle is that we try to mix and mingle the program very much so that it's a spectrum of things, not one type of thing by 2 or 3 artists.
Do you have any special events planned for visitors from out of the country, from America? Like a tour of Tallinn?
Honestly, we have not actually even, we've tried a couple of years doing that. But we decided quite early on that let's remain at what we know we could do best. And because the weekend itself is actually fairly short period of time, then we are always helping people with recommendations. That if you want to have a tour there or here or do this or that, then we are sort of pointing out that okay, you should contact this travel agency or this person, or go by yourself there. Different suggestions. We went this way, but we tried to concentrate our efforts on actually putting together the best program always that we can. So the touristy sort of additions, these are not in our menu. But as I said, although we're not doing it, we're always having very good recommendations, and very often, Dima reminds me here as well that very often when people stay for a few days, even longer than the weekend, then we're always very, very happy to be the personal tour guides around. So yeah.
I remember the bear events we used to attend here years ago. We always like to arrive earlier, like 2-3 days earlier.
Yeah.
Do something about the city or something.
Yeah, it's not just a bear event. It's if we're going to a place we've never been, we want to see what the place is like.
You should. I mean, literally, if to add to the point, yes, we've had almost, I think, every year someone from Canada as well. This year as well, yeah. So you wouldn't be the first ones, not the last ones, but for yourself personally, if you haven't been, then do yourself a favor, plan yourself over here someday. You will not regret, definitely.
Oh no,
no, we'd love to.
We'd love to. Get ready. What you're looking for this year? What's the highlight for this year? I know it's hard because you're organizing, but what's the real
highlight this year? I think the highlight this year would be actually, again, I have to refer back to the sad COVID years. That the very first COVID year we had to cancel about half of the artists coming this year. So the first COVID year we had in schedule also the music edition. We could not do that. So right now, luckily, we have Tin Morera, a DJ producer from the States, and then Mike and Marco, also a duo of performers from New York. A very interesting artist from Berlin, Bleeding Black Wood, aka Timo. So everybody who's coming, we are very excited about, and also surprisingly enough, you asked a couple of times, how do we choose the artist? For example, this year's artist, the very last addition to the program was Luke, a DJ from London, who I think it was even in January, probably, or December. He wrote us and was asking that, hey, I know about your event. Can I come and play? And surprisingly enough, we had an open slot, so we could bring him in. But Luke himself is also quite a remarkable DJ, because his personal DJing history scrolls back to the opening evening of infamous, very famous London gay club called Heaven, early 80s.
Ah.
Where he played the opening night along with some other DJs. So we're very, very excited about everybody coming. And last but not least, also Holger, aka Neo Opus, a DJ, music connoisseur, definitely walking encyclopedia of music knowledge. He's our virtual artist this year. We've never had a virtual official artist in program, but he's the first one, and he's originally from Hamburg, Germany. He does almost weekly, if not every 2-3 days, mixes on Mixcloud. Very, very interesting personality, and very happy that we also connected with him a few years back. So everybody is very important to us.
And how do the two of you work together? I mean, any arguments, any stress? It'd be, no, you. Everything's easy and zen.
You mean between us?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I'm joking. I mean, hey, we're human beings. Of course, we have our arguments, but well, in most cases, we come to an agreement nicely, and yeah, I think it's all right and fine, and we play both our important role in organizing the overall, the eventual outcome, the final product, how it comes out. Am I right, baby?
Yeah, I'm quite like a mouse, and take your hand and want to put my emotions, my feeling inside him, to every time to want to say, I respect you, I'm proud of you, and
me too, baby. I love you too. I tend to do most of the negotiations. Dima, because he has a very, very communicable personality, he doesn't probably many times realize that, but I consider him a best PR partner. I mean, I could never do so much PR as he does. So about half of the, notoriety or popularity of Tallinn Bearty is definitely due to him. And you're welcome, baby. You know that. And he has at least twice more Facebook friends than I do, so it's easy for him.
Maybe more.
Yeah, that counts.
Oh yeah, definitely. What are the biggest challenges that you faced
in organizing an event like that?
Oh, biggest challenges are these days probably financial. I mean, I'm saying that as a, it's like a doomsday voice and the face went all gloomy. No, but because you asked this way, anything else, I mean, I pretty much know, and we've become used to understanding how the machinery for us works. Just like I mentioned before, that usually, the phase one for us is negotiations with artists. Phase two is negotiations with event locations. And then comes program, and then comes sales. I mean, easy. But we never know how eventually the financial side, the budgeting works. So quite literally, we have the non-profit NGO as a legal body that we need to have to actually organize those things. So quite literally, I think the strategic goal is to stay above zero every year. We managed to do that, but it's definitely not a project that makes us rich financially. So I think that's the best answer probably. Well, yeah, partly because of that. Well, not partly, but very, very, very importantly, because the budgeting, I mean, the financial support, not only from the bear community themselves, who are actually coming and buying the tickets and package and so on. We are always seeking help from embassies in Tallinn, represented countries, and luckily, most of them, if not all, when we have at least some citizen, the resident of the country visiting, they usually support us with some budgeting. This year, boys and girls, boys and boys, this year we are very, very happy to announce that our main biggest supporter is Embassy of Canada.
That's one of the questions.
Yes, that was our next question, actually. We noticed
the billboards.
We saw what Canada is doing there.
Yes. So yeah, this is actually again partly because we've been running the event for so many years. Estonia as a country is small. The diplomatic circle obviously know each other fairly well, and we became in contact with many people from different embassies, including representatives of Canadian embassy in Estonia. So this year it was
Canada Open Embassy of this year. Last year.
Well, yeah, Timo is saying that in reality, Canadian embassy was only in Vilnius earlier. Tallinn had a representative office, consulate. So Canada opened a full-scale embassy here literally a year or so ago. But we had a contact before already. So yeah, this year they were kind enough to support us the biggest. So we're very proud.
So they should have asked Trudeau to pay us a ticket so could go to the official representative.
Yes, we would represent Canada.
Funny enough, she actually gave us quite few useful hints about organizations in different places in Canada who do provide such support. Like, if you would apply within Canada, you would be probably lucky about that.
Do you have anything else to add?
Fourth reason to come to Tallinn, especially this year, in a couple of months, is Baltic Pride. First weekend of June. The 10th of June will be Pride Walk, but the whole week before that will be Pride Week. So Baltic Pride is a concept that has been running for more than 10 years right now. Rotationally, Tallinn, Riga, and Vilnius are hosting Pride events, Pride weeks. Partly earlier it started because every capital and the country themselves, they couldn't or we couldn't find the momentum, so they decided to join the forces. So just like Tallinn Bearty does 3 themes of cultural editions, Baltic Pride is traveling every year from one capital to another, and this June it will be back in Tallinn.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so first weekend of June. If anybody can join us, we will be here. We will be joining the Pride events definitely. So summer is exceptionally beautiful in Estonia because
White nights.
Up to the end of June, the nights are getting longer and longer, up to the point where when the actual summer solstice occurs, the dark part of the night is actually barely like half an hour, and the skies are still bright.
Please invite people to go Tallinn Bearty.
Bearty, yes.
Bearty, yes.
Why do you tell people to go there?
Yeah, so here's your time to
Why
push the
would
event.
Get the PR.
why would people need to come to Tallinn Bearty?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sweet question.
We like a family event. We want to be bigger, but we don't want because Tallinn's small, and when our guests, our friends coming to Tallinn, and about 200, it's enough for us, because we need to know where our single guest in the town, and we need to support, to help, to give our recommendation, what to eat, what to see around, and every minute's like a family. Like
yeah. I mean, I was talking quite formally about the concept of Tallinn Bearty, but Dima, because you asked, Dima very nicely summarized the whole Tallinn Bearty vibe. It's a family vibe, and I don't know. Most probably, we have to agree with the feedback that the boys who are coming to town, they leave us, that somehow, some way, we managed to make them feel literally like part of the family, and we are personally especially happy that we almost keep account how many every year, but every year we have those visitors, the guys who are maybe feeling that they are part of bear community, but who never ever have been to any bear run. They can be young ones, but there have been also people with age who come to Tallinn first time in their life to the bear event, and they say that this has been literally the best experience they could never expect, because we're trying to leave them with an utmost care, hospitality, attention, and Dima said also that those couple of hundred guys that come to Tallinn, this is physically about the limit where we can actually personally communicate with each other, and they can communicate with each other as well. So I think that's probably the summary of why Tallinn Bearty is so good.
The best words possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We've been to big events before, small events too, but small is good too because it's more personal. We have more way to meet other people and more time to talk to people. There's the first one we did here called in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Drenched fur.
Drenched fur. It's not, that time wasn't that big. And it was so nice because people sit and talk and met so many guys. It was very, very good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bigger ones is nice too, of course, but it's a different situation, event. Like in Vegas, you did once that there were so many people, so many things going on.
There were like thousands of people.
You couldn't see everybody. Somebody was here. I didn't know. I didn't see. It was crazy, but it was nice. But it's always nice.
Yeah.
I think it's.
And there were lots of lines. And
Yeah.
So really like. We hope someday we can go
yes.
visit Tallinn. and
You
see
are
guys.
so welcome. And now when you're planning your trips or suggesting your friends, you know who to turn to.
Yes, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, that's important.
Yep.
So I thank you both for doing these events. Really congratulate you for your hard work. Can
Thank
tell
you.
by the pictures.
Thank you for talking to us.
And next year for more events, you do another video to talk more about next year too. And keep on.
As I mentioned, this year is our 9th. Next year is our Jubilee 10th edition. So
Congratulations.
we are planning something special, if not different, but we don't know even yet what it will be.
Who knows Canada is going to send us next time.
Yes.
Yay!
If you're in Europe, if you're going to Europe, you want to do something cool, different,
Check it out.
yes. So their website is bearty.info. You can also check their Instagram, Tallinn Bearty, and they are on Facebook too. So check them out. You can also check our own website, bearsuccess.com. You can follow our YouTube and everything. We also have a Fluffies channel and everything.
Yes. So stay fluffy.